Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and well, any other FPGA gaming news out there. We will then move over to random and retro gaming side of the show. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. I also have a Patreon set up if you wish to support the channel further. And before we begin, guys, don't forget to check out the channel sponsor, MiSTer Add-ons, an awesome family-run store for all your MiSTer needs, whether it's a full setup or just bits and bobs. The time has come, guys. X-Men the arcade game. I know this was a highly anticipated cause, and whenever I spoke to you guys and I said, you know, what are your top 5, what are your top 3, or what is your most wanted core, the X-Men arcade game, this brawler would always enter the conversation. Well, the great news is it is available. It is currently in beta and only available to Patreon supporters of Hotego. Now, Hotego initially releases his cores as betas to supporters. Once they are tested and they are stable and ready enough, they are released to the public, publicly available free of charge. So if you want to get early access to it, help fund FPGA core developments where you can get excellent titles like this, and you can enjoy the benefits of helping testing and getting the games early, consider supporting Hotego on Patreon. I get it, it's not for everyone. If not, just wait a while, guys, and you will get that public release. But either way, X-Men is fantastic. It's one of the Konami games. A big special thanks out to Vertec as well. So because of a lot of Vertec's work, some of the reverse engineering work done on his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles core, that is something that benefited this core directly. And Hotego thanks Vertec for that. And Vertec, we thank you all for that, man. Your work is amazing and you're just like a major asset to the FPGA gaming scene. Anyway, guys, go enjoy. Have a great weekend, and X-Men is just awesome. Let's talk about a few miscellaneous fixes from Hotego and team. So the first thing to point out here, guys, is Hotego has updated the beta file. So the beta file, I think the last time it was like updated was May. So definitely get the new beta file from the latest Patreon post. Make sure you add that in the right location. If you're using an updater, you need to put the beta.zip on the root of the Analogue Pocket's micro SD card. And if you're doing it on the MiSTer, you need to head over to your MiSTer, your games, your main folder, and the beta zip goes in there. If there's one in there already, it will ask you, do you want to overwrite it? Say yes and overwrite it with the new key. Also, a bug has been fixed that was causing CD SD dump to appear with a wrong byte at region transitions on JT Frame. They've also fixed flip on CRT for time scanner. There's now also better support for integer scaling on MiSTer. Work on System 18 core continues with a custom firmware now determine how graphics layer priority works. And the team will give more details on the System 18 stuff soon. Now for some good news and some bad news, and I'm sure it's gonna end with good news, but just with a delay. So guys, it's no secret, I'm a big fan of the AmigaVision front ends. I use it on my MiSTer, I use it on my Analogue Pocket, and honestly one day I'm gonna put it on different devices, like maybe something like the Steam Deck. Just need to get around to doing it. But for now, yeah, I really do enjoy the front end. It's a great way to get into the Amiga. The way they've put everything together, the whole package, into different genres, into different categories, into charts, you will find hidden gems, you will find games that you have forgotten about, you will see them again because a screenshot will pop up when you go to select the game. So they're doing a new update. They recently added some CD32 support to it. I did a live stream on the channel covering that, and yes, I enjoyed my experience with that. So this tweet here reads, new AmigaVision releases this Thursday, 10/10/24, with some great features, or with some great new features. Prepare your Amigas, FPGAs and emulators and warm up those CRTs. Unfortunately, because of archive.org being down, this has been delayed. No doubt when archive.org is back up and they recover from whatever malicious activity was conducted on that site or towards that site, whenever it's restored, I'm sure this will be a backup. So look at this as a delay for now, just for unforeseen circumstances, because these things do happen. But guys, whenever it does happen, if I do have time, I will love to do a live stream. I love doing the Amiga live streams, and I love you guys popping over and contributing. And I like AmigaVision dropping in as well, if my stream time kind of suits their time zone. Anyway, looking forward to this. We'll cover it later on the channel as well. Courtesy of Paul BNL, we are now getting a SNES core with save states. This is me doing a video earlier where we're testing it out. So here I am saving a state, pressing wrong buttons in the menu, but I eventually get the hang of it. You've got 4 different save slots, save state slots. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Save state slots. So I saved the state there where I was kicking the barrel. I'm going to go into the game a little bit and then you can load that state. Now bear in mind this is an early version of the core. There you go, we've loaded that save state. So this is an early version of the core. It doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't support any SNES games that have like special hardware, any specific chips out there. It just runs like a lot of the normal games, but there are a lot of normal games that it works on. I tried Contra and Final Fight 3 for my video. I've been really busy dealing with other stuff, so I've not had a chance to kind of go back and revisit this, but it is excellent. If you want to get it, I'll leave a link to a video in the description that will give you all the download links where you can get the MiSTer Unstable and where you can actually get this this unstable version of the core to try out. But it's fantastic. Great work from Paul BNL and a fantastic core from SRG320. If you want save states, definitely try this out. FPGA core developer Raki, also known as RCA Victor Co, is working on TwinBee among other things. So they've given a little update on TwinBee where they said they have only verified the basic bootloader, the ROM base RAM access. But they talk a little bit about Salamander. So the update for Salamander is the Japanese version of LifeForce uses 3 buttons, but the inputs are incompatible with other 2-button games. So what Raki is thinking of doing is adding an auto-config bit to the MRA so that if the user has set up 3-button inputs, the 2-button game can still use the 3-button mapping information without having to modify the settings. Now I have to say, when it comes to a lot of these games, I prefer 2 buttons. I like my fire and my missile to be the same button. If there's an additional button, sometimes there's a separate button for fire and missile. It means I'm spamming 2 buttons to kind of get my fire out. But it's good to have the options. If you played it with 3 buttons and you had separate buttons for missiles and fire, and that's the way you like it, then it's excellent that we're getting this choice. Raki's work is excellent. I've been enjoying Salamander, and I truly look forward to TwinBee hitting the MiSTer FPGA. Let's now talk some Taki clones. So batch 2 was supposed to be live and available to buy on the 8th of October, but let's have a look at this tweet and we'll get some more explanation. So Taki says, this is going to be a little after the 8th of October. We need to get mass production shells from a second provider. The store pages with the updated changes are live and listed out of stock. A limited number of turbo kits will also be available for PayPal payments. I'll cover this in a separate video. It's possible that the PayPal payment method might be a little bit more expensive because their fees are a lot higher, and they also hold payment for up to 60 days. So for a consumer, PayPal excellent. For a seller, yeah, PayPal's not that great. So having a look at some of the differences. So Mr. Pi batch 2 news. So the changes, the pluses, the minuses. They've got rid of the RAM bundle, which was the Mr. Pi and, well, the RAM module. They've also removed the BTM Wi-Fi dongle that was given for batch 1 running late. What they have added is they've bundled snack with so they've bundled snack. That's an option. Then the next one there, a turbo bundle, the pre-assembled inner shell with a 64GB flash SD card. So that flash SD card won't have any copywritten stuff on there. It will just have like the basics on there, so you can plug it, get it up and running, and hopefully run update all. Now I would recommend to anyone, depending on the price difference, which I don't think is that much, if you get a pre-assembled one, honestly, if you're like me, I'm always nervous putting this stuff together, and if there's an option there for one that comes ready to go, I will go for that option. But that's completely up to you. If you want to go for the turbo bundle, or you want to go for, say, like the mega bundle where you have to put everything together yourself. And then plus colored acrylic shells, maybe batch 2 only. So improvements, mega turbo are now quality assured with the SD RAM they ship with. So what that meant is, previously with the SD RAM issues, they had one Mr. Pi out and they were testing RAM on there, then they were taking that off, testing the next RAM. Now they've changed their method to the board that they're using the RAM with is the board that it ships with. So they know it's been tested on that board and it works, which is absolutely great. I like the way Taki's adapting and responding to feedback. So next tweet here, you can roughly see if you will have addressed issues by adding something that is currently in stock on the site in your car. And guys, that might be worth doing, right? It's always worth doing a dry run. So for example, these here placeholders that are sold out, but if we do go over here, to the MiSTer AV Board Pro 9.2, $40. Maybe you can add that to your cart and go through the motions. Don't buy it, but at least see if you're getting to that final step and everything's working. That might prove handy. And if you do run into issues beforehand, you know when the MiSTer Pi goes live, then you know you want to sort that out before you actually start doing it. Next tweet here, I won't know until the second case supplier gives me a real lead time. Hopefully they can provide a clear date before Friday. So Friday's passed. I don't think we've got an update on that, but guys, I can miss stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happens on social media and I'm human, I miss stuff. But as far as I know, we didn't get that update. So this one over here, this is interesting. So previously, people had some issues with the payment provider or like even Shopify. So the default payment experience should not cause as much of an issue. I revoked Shopify's ability to try and verify addresses since they can't do even basic verification. So hopefully where people's addresses were failing with this new change Taki has made, hopefully that will make things easier for you guys. And what is the final tweet here? Oh yeah, this just came through as I was filming. So batch 2 SD RAM, and here we go. It's just a shot of SD RAM. Anyway, guys, when it does go live, I'll try and keep you guys updated. And I wish you guys all the best. And I hope more of you guys come over to the MiSTer family. So I know we've finished covering MiSTer Pi, but now we are moving over to MiSTer Pi cases. I guess it's kind of related. So I really like the cases that MiSTer FPGA UK is doing. This isn't sponsored or anything by any means. I cover a lot of stuff that I generally just like. Any sponsors that I have, I'm very clear about it anyway. You see it at the beginning of the video. So autumn has finally arrived in my neck of the woods. Nat, you're absolutely right. I usually film these videos wearing a t-shirt. I am now wearing a hoodie that makes me look like comic book guy out of The Simpsons. So he says, I've added some vibrant colors to the MiSTer Pi acrylic case range. Here are the bold Helios yellow and the fiery lava orange. I've also added the Mars red, which is available to view on the website. So just making this picture a little bit bigger because I do like the pictures he does. It's like they're out in the wild, okay? But here we go. They're $22.99 and that's the Mars red color that you can see there. So if you've got a MiSTer Pi without a case and you want to get one, you're in the UK, this is probably the most cost-effective way to get one. If you're going to order one and you're going to order one without a case and you like this kind of case, the important thing is you've got options. And, you know, for us in the UK, I've used MrFPGA.co.uk before. It's where I got my bits for the MiSTer apart from the DE10 Nano going back a couple of years. And I have to say the customer service I experienced was top rate. So I recommend them as a customer, not as a sponsor or anything. And more MiSTer Pi cases, but these are slightly different. These are 3D printable designs that are available for free. So if you've got a 3D printer or you've got access to a 3D printer via friends, family or work, maybe you want to have a look at some of these cases. I'll leave links to all 6 of these. Right, wow, that's quite a range there. I want to send a special thanks out to Grumpy Old Gamer UK because I asked him, I said, look, can you just get me some 3D printed cases that are available, all the best ones, and I'll show them on the channel. So if you want to 3D print your own one, you can have a look at this one here. Then we've got this one over here, which, yeah, that kind of wooden kind of finish. Yeah, either way it looks nice. This one over here, which I think this is like the bigger picture. If you want something like that, you can print that yourself. You've got this one here again, like you're not limited by choices. I mean, if you really wanted, you could design your own, like there's nothing stopping you. Obviously, when you're 3D printing these, you can use different colors to make them look or customize them to exactly how you want. You can even make a PCN one using my logo, like I have one of those. But either way, there's plenty of options out there. You can buy one if you're in the UK that I've shown, or if you want to 3D print them, you can do that. The choice is completely yours. Let's check out a couple of things from the TapTo project in the last week. So a tweet here from Wizzo. Here's a cool TapTo idea suggested by Mr. Addons. Yeah, that's the sponsor of this show. A while back. How about using an external CD drive to launch instead of an NFC? It feels super legit with the disc spinning up and everything. Still work to be done, but I've already put a PR up. Ready for the next release. So guys, this looks awesome. Different ways of doing it now, like launch your games via a spinning CD. Again, like this project just keeps evolving. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And I've got to show this. So here's something from Aero, the toy maker. And I've got a soft spot for, well, you know what, the CPS 1, 1.5 and the CPS 2 system. So here is a full set of TapTo custom CPS 1, 1.5 and CPS 2 decals. I designed for the MiSTer with my hollow 3DFX print tech. Fleshing out the last set is the arcade random, console random update tool, and the Neo Geo 240 test suite decals. These look so good. If you want to sit, just send me a DM and I'll leave a link to this tweet. If you want to get hold of these, send us a DM in order to make a purchase. But guys, yeah, they look good. And you know, you flash like CPS 1, CPS 1.5 and CPS 2 in front of my face, and yes, even though I don't use TapTo, I work in a small space, it's just not very effective for me. I appreciate the project and I love it. And if I ever get like an arcade machine or something, I would love to put an NFC reader in it and just all the cards that will launch my favorite games. But for those of you guys that are interested, give Aero Aces a shout. The Sega Saturn core by SRG 320 is going from strength to strength, guys. It's an excellent system and it's one of my favorite cores on the MiSTer FPGA, if not my favorite console core. It is just amazing. But recently, there's been some updates to it, and for the first time ever, right, I don't know what I'm talking about here, this is just information that's given to me, but just that the Saturn core is the first thing that's not official hardware to pass all of the SCSP tests, right? Okay, so it's getting closer and closer to hardware. It is an amazing experience. If you haven't tried it, it is available via Update Tool, but that'll be an older version of the core. You can get an unstable version of the core and get it working for yourself. It's a fantastic time. And what's amazing about it as well, we covered it recently, where it's got mouse support, so you can play light gun games using a mouse. As well as that, via Snack or Snacks, you can use a light gun. And a post there from the sponsor of this video, Mr. Addons, they said last month marked the 30th anniversary of Virtua Cop Arcade. MiSTer FPGA Saturn Beta Core got an update with support for the Sega Stunner. I updated my Snack 64 and Mr. Cade Remote V2 products to work with the Stunner. More info on the link there. I'll leave links to this stuff in the description of the video, guys. If you want to get a Saturn Stunner running and you want to enjoy games like Virtua Cop 2 using a light gun. But in the meantime, let me recommend Elevator Action Returns. It is a brilliant game. It's on the TapTo F3 system, and honestly, it feels better on the Sega Saturn core on the MiSTer FPGA than when I play it via software emulation on a system like MAME. But yeah, Saturn core is amazing. Good news for the Analogue Pocket, we have a public core courtesy of Hertago and team, and this time it's the Speed Rumbler. I believe this was released as a beta core like a week or two ago, and now it's out as a public core already. So go enjoy it. It's a top-down, I don't know what to call it. It reminds me of like GTA before GTA was a thing, but you're kind of racing around, you're moving around, you're shooting stuff. It's not a game I'm familiar with. Maybe I should give it a shot at some point because I do like top-down view or bird's eye view games. Supercast 2 was like a favorite on the Amiga. But yeah, go enjoy Speed Rumbler. It should be available via your favorite updater. Yeah, go enjoy it. This is something that I stumbled across while going across Reddit, as I do sometimes. So I thought this would be handy and it might be useful to some people, but it's just nice stuff. It's nice to see this stuff in general. So useful Bluetooth device for hearing aids devices, and it's not something that I ever think of. I don't generally use headphones, only when I'm like on the underground gang to work. That's the only time I may use them. So so the guy here says, which is kiss my poncho. Okay, so he's having a cigar on his balcony playing what looks like Pokemon on the Analogue Pocket. So I'm deaf, but my Phonax hearing aids allow me to connect to devices through Bluetooth, and just got this small amazing things, and my experience playing changed totally. Now can play anywhere with music, and it's fantastic. 100% recommended. So I kind of reached out and I said, that's awesome. They said, if you need any more help, I said, well, if you want to give me a link to the actual device, and this is the device that they're using. Okay, I'm not again plugging this. I've got no incentive plugging this or whatever. This is just because it kind of seemed nice, but it's $48.99, and like it has on Amazon, I can see down here that it's got that 30% off coupon. I have no idea how much these devices go for, what competitors there are on the market, but it's nice to see accessibility options. So if you are hard of hearing or you're deaf and you've got an Analogue Pocket or you've got another device that you could benefit from this, it's not limited to the Analogue Pocket, it's anything with a 3.5-inch jack. So your Steam Deck, your Nintendo Switch, whatever you want to use it for, maybe this is something you're interested in. But I cover FPGA gaming, mainly the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and it's just refreshing to see this. So kiss my poncho, have a good week, bud. And a weekly update on GBATang, which is a port of the Game Boy Advance core from the MiSTer FPGA over to the Tang 138K Logic Element FPGA. Now, the main developer that is working on bringing it on this over, well, the only developer that I know is really bringing stuff over to the Tang is NeptUno, and they are awesome. So the tweet reads, which you can see in the top right, GBATang 0.5 is just released. As promised, Doom and also Duke Nukem 3D is now playable. Another major feature is game progress saving to SD cards. See for details and get the release from GitHub. So again, if you're one of the people that does have a Tang 138K, then maybe this is something you want. I'm pretty sure you want this. But over here on the right hand side, you can see the notes from what looks like GitHub to me. I always have the dark theme on, but it says NeptUno. The major feature of this release is progress saving to SD cards. You need to turn it on manually in options. Also, there are more games compatibility fixes. Allow 8-bit access to VRAM, hide Doom, GBA Doom, and Duke Nukem 3D. Provide dummy RCNT for Sonic Advance and Sonic Advance 2. Do not interrupt multi-cycle instructions like LDM, which is for Doom, Dave Mirror, Freestyle BMX 2, Mario Golf Advance Tour, Racing Gears Advance, and V-Rally 3. Fixed stereo audio, second DMA sound channel is working now. Super Mario Advance 2, Doom, other proper STM right back. So NeptUno, love it. Love covering you every week, and it's amazing to see the progress you're making and the rate you're making this progress at. I saw this tweet from Antonio Velena, and this time it says, new FPGA released, this time with built-in, or built-in, it says built-in, I'm sure it's supposed to say built-in keyboard. So let's have a look at the product page anyway, and over here, so the plus NeptUno. So you can have a look at it. It's an FPGA console. What's it say here? NeptUno Plus is a FPGA computer successor of NeptUno. 2 DB9 joystick ports compatible with Genesis PS2 keyboard and mouse VGA output, RGB 888, and optionally can be SCART with cable or adapter not included, and then USB port for keyboard, mouse and game controller, ear input 3.5mm jack, audio output, okay, 12S. So there's some descriptions here. Guys, I have to say, I've never tried this FPGA. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's good, bad, whatever. I have to say it's interesting seeing a keyboard on top of it, and I'm covering it, but I know nothing of this. So I'm just kind of highlighting it to you. If this is something you want to purchase, do your own due diligence. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't know anything about this. I saw this on my timeline, and yeah, so this is from Modding Marius, and I was like, wow. Okay, so Game Boy FM radio cartridge. Let me just play that video from the beginning, and then I will read the translation of the tweet, and hopefully, yeah, we can see some of it, right? So this cartridge created by Orange Glow, let me lower it down a bit as well, allows you to listen to the radio directly on your Game Boy. And guys, you know I love my Game Boy DMG. This may not necessarily be for me, but I do appreciate this kind of work. So thanks to the jack, you can connect an antenna and take advantage of the integrated amplifier by plugging in headphones. Switch up like Nintendo. So again, interesting. There you go. You've got the frequency range down there, and if that's what you want to use a radio on your Game Boy, it's a possibility. Lunar Lancer is now out, and it's a Game Boy vertical shmup. I covered this in a video on the channel where I speak about like free to enjoy fan games that you can get, and this was one of the ones I featured in there. So from Jonas Fitchback, my new Game Boy game Lunar Lancer is out now. It's free, so get your copy here. I'll leave a link to this tweet, or maybe even the itch.io page, but even if I leave one, you can see the itch.io link there where you can grab this for free. This will run on your original Game Boy DMG. I tried this out. I tried this out on the MiSTer. I don't think I've tried it out on the Analogue Pocket yet, and it works really, really well. It plays well, it looks well, it feels good. Oh, by the way, the boss fights are a lot of fun. A game to keep on your radar. A game to keep on your radar. This is called Cleared Hot, And if you ever played like Desert Strike, that was the original. Then we had like, was it Jungle Strike, the sequel? They were like Mega Drive games. They may have been out for different systems. I best remember them on the Mega Drive. So you had like Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, then you had Urban Strike. Guys, they were good games, especially like when you went near your colleagues or your friendlies and the little ladder popped down to kind of grab them. I really liked the game. I think this is going to be a good game. I don't know much about it. It's called Cleared Hot. Maybe you want to check it out. It's coming out soon, but it looks really, really good. I mean, look at it, guys. It really does look like Desert Storm on steroids. This popped up on my Google feed and yes, I was happy, and I really hope this is executed well. So here's an article on IGN, I'll leave a link to it in the description where you can get further details because I'm not going to read out the whole article. So Sega's Shinobi is getting a film adaptation from the director of Extraction. Joe Musahashi is headed to the big screen. And guys, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm a fan of Shinobi, I'm a fan of Shadow Dancer and various other Shinobi games over the years. I'm kind of looking forward to the new one. Not exactly sure about the art style, but I'll reserve my judgment for when it actually comes out and I'll play it. But the first line says, another day, another video game adaptation has been announced. This time it's Sega's Shinobi series. I really hope it's good. I hope it's something special and I hope it's something that we can all enjoy and it doesn't end up being a disaster. So I'll definitely give it a watch when it comes out. I am definitely not a channel that covers like the music news, but when the music comes in the form of a Game Boy cartridge, okay, I'm interested. Now guys, I don't know much about this band. You can name me an album, a song, I don't know it. Green Day isn't my thing, man. I was pre that era. I'm like Megadeth, Metallica, Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, Pantera. That was me when it kind of came to like my rock kind of metal days. I went different genres, but anyway, let's get back to point. What was really, really interesting here, so 15 tracks demastered in 15 formats, and among the formats, and hopefully I'll be able to see it down here. Haha, that's what we're looking for. Look at that, Green Day Dookie. It comes in a Game Boy. It looks like a Game Boy DMG cart, and that is just fantastic. So I'll leave a link to that if you want to get it. I think it's only available in North America. It's coming on different formats. Surely it can't come in a toothbrush. I have no idea, but I was interested in this Game Boy one. Now, if they did like a Skid Row one or something, yeah, I'd be interested, but yeah, I should be so lucky. But yeah, Green Day fans out there, maybe you guys are going to like this. Here's an interesting game that I had my eye on for some time, and it's been released now. So let's have a look at this tweet from TFD Soft, where TFD Soft say, TFD Soft is very proud to present FamiDash 1.0, a Geometry Dash remake for the NES. You've played Geometry Dash on your phone and on your PC, now play it on the NES. So guys, you're not limited to the NES, you can play this via a software emulator, you can play this on FPGA devices such as the Analogue Pocket and the MiSTer FPGA. There are plenty of choices. Just enjoy this wherever you want to enjoy it. So having a look at the page, it's available on ROM Hack Plaza. One of the coders on this game was Kando12. I know he worked on this game for quite a period of time, along with other people. So big credit to everyone that worked on this. So you can go over to ROM Hack Plaza, go over to FamiDash NES Homebrew. I'll leave a link to this in the description, and you can just get this downloaded for yourself. So it's a free download from what I know. I haven't tried it out yet. Again, just busy. Haven't had time to play games. I really want to play the new Silent Hill remake as well. So I do want to get around to that sometime. But here we go. We've got a download link here. You can play it online as well. So if you click the download link, there you go. It's grabbing the free download for me. I did do a test download earlier. That's why you can see it in my history. But yeah, go and enjoy FamiDash. This isn't for me, and the reason why is I played Geometry Dash on my phone and it drove me crazy because I just lack too much skill and I'm just not very good at the game. But it's definitely worth trying. It's one of those ones where you always feel you can do better in the next run, and before you know it, a few hours have passed and you're sitting there in your underwear, not getting ready for work and running late. Aero Fighters. This is actually footage from Aero Fighters 2, and I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong guys, but I'm pretty sure Sonic Wings and Aero Fighters are the same thing. So Aero Fighters, let's have a look. Let's move away from this and move to here. So new Aero Fighters game in development after 27 years. A new entry in the vertical scrolling shoot 'em up series Aero Fighters, oh yeah, it is Aero Fighters, is in development. Success Corporation's Shinya Nagatomo announced during Hamster Corporation's 502nd Arcade Archive Super Volume 91 special broadcast. I'll leave it at that, but that'll be interesting. I do like modern takes on classic games, if there's a new game, or if it's what does it say actually, a new game in development. Okay, so like a brand new game, not like a rehash of an old one. So something I look forward to when there are new sequels and they're done right. A good example of that is Streets of Rage 4. I didn't like it when I first played it, but man, I grew to love that game. So when something is done right, it's done right, and hopefully this is done right. So do you have trouble waking up? Well, it looks like Nintendo have got you covered in this alarm clock. I think it's going for like £90, and it is called Alarmo. Yeah, so this is something that's coming out soon, and if you're interested in this, maybe you want it. If you want to wake up to like different Mario game music and it drops different sounds like the sound of coins, it's got lots of different favorite games in there, and it kind of tracks your movement and it gives you sound according to that. Now, I can tell you that they got this idea from, do you know those little Game & Watch remakes that they've got? Honestly, everyone I know that has one has it on their desk as a clock. They use it as a desk clock because it just looks nice. It shows Mario Brothers running or Zelda, whichever model you're choosing, you use it as a clock. I'm pretty sure Nintendo clocked onto that and thought, hold on, why don't we just make a clock? So yeah, I know a lot of people that are really looking forward to. They're even saying that it is going to be Christmas presents for their loved ones. So maybe you want to check this out in the future. So this was interesting, again on my Google feed, and that's how I get a lot of my material. Google just tells me during the week on my feed what I should be featuring, and I saw this, and this is for the Nintendo Wii, NVMe 2 Wii internal SSD kit. So if you want to use like a 2230 NVMe M2 solid state drive on your Wii console, you can do so, and I think there's like an easy way to access it as well. Now that's one of those tiny drives. It's very fast. It's using devices like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, a lot of the small handheld laptops, or the very compact laptops. So if you love your Wii and you want to get this upgrade for it, and you've got a 2230 kicking around, maybe you want to consider this. So guys, that wraps it up for this week's episode. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. Be absolutely awesome to one another, guys. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.